So, I think it has been over a year so far since my channel since it started to function. Or I wouldn't call it explode or any other bombastic word because I'm still like a really small YouTube channel. It's about, I think right now I have almost 1,600 subscribers. It might not seem like a large number, but for me it is. For me, it is actually a significant large number because I had this account, I think, since late 2019. And I made like a series of YouTube videos, how to set up the joystick and track when you're playing Star Citizen. However, that didn't gain much traction at all. But one evening when Hive Fleet came out, I think it was end of July 2021. I started playing it, and I noticed a lot of players on the forums had issues with missile targeting. And I thought, hey, I might as well try making a small video explaining how it works. And didn't think much of it or that it would be any type of successful. And then after the next day, I checked my YouTube stats and I had like over 100 or 200 subscribers overnight and 700 people watching it, which was a huge number for me at that point. And that's how sort of it started for me. I still haven't figured out how to like accelerate or find something big that can get a large audience. I think that might be the thing that I'm mostly into these small indie games. They have a naturally small player base. And I think some players recommended to me to play some larger RPG games and might get a user base. But I think if I don't like playing the game and just play it because there's a large player base, but I'm not really enthusiastic about it, I think that's probably wouldn't work out for me. And one thing that I really feel proud of is that I'm actively avoiding to use clickbaits to get people to click on my videos. So when you look at the thumbnails of my videos, what you won't see is these dirty psychological tricks that get you to click on a video. I'm going to show you two examples of it. There's basically two types of clickbait, the visual ones and the text-based ones. The text-based clickbait, for example, is when the video title or the text is written in the thumbnail where it says, "Why is nobody talking about this?" That's a pretty dirty trick psychologically to create an image of a important problem that you're being hinted at, but you have to click on it to figure out what it is. And the second one is a more visual one, which I think it started appearing over the last 2 years, is when people use those little red arrows on thumbnails to get you to click on something. That's a really dirty psychological trick because on an instinctive level, if somebody points at something in the distance, instinctively it makes people think that's something important or dangerous, so they have to figure out what it is. And you see there's a lot of gaming channels where they have like a picture of the video game that relates to the video content, and then they put a red arrow on pointing something at the game in the picture. And that's something I completely avoid doing these tricks because at some point it poisons the relationship that you have with the people watching your stuff. Because at some point they will figure out, okay, wait, I'm being tricked here into clicking on something. And I think using that type of trickery, it's inherently hostile to the, well, I would call it technically a customer. Because people watching your stuff and generating ad revenue, it's a customer of your product. And then the question is, if somebody makes YouTube videos, to what depth would they go to trick a person into clicking their video, even if it doesn't match the quality or the content of what's in the video, to get clicks? And for some people, I think that's a bottomless pit that it would go into to get somebody to click. So yeah, I'm actively avoiding that. It's probably leading to my channel growing, I think, a lot slower than it would be if I would do it otherwise, but I think in the long run, it's going to be worth it to avoid it. And I think my view might be a bit old-fashioned on this, but I'd also extend this to my live streams and my newly created Discord, in case you've noticed. There's currently only 3 people on it, but hey, gotta start somewhere. It's my YouTube channel, when I'm streaming, I have no rule settings. Like, there's no rule list telling you what you shouldn't or shouldn't do. And the same for my Discord, because to get back to the old-fashioned thing, if somebody visits my place, like a shop or place of business or visiting a YouTube channel, I think it's inherently rude to tell your customer how he should behave. Because it breaks like an ancient law of hospitality, I think. You don't berate your customer on how should behave in your shop. You just don't do that. That's just rude.